Excellent, thank you. So do I pronounce your name Chana?
Yep, you've got that correct. So Chana Msirovic.
I couldn't do your last name the other day. I tried so hard. But Chana, you have obviously agreed to join us today to talk about Shopify, which is a realm that most people, including myself in the aesthetic space, do not know anything about, which was why we wanted to speak to an expert. So just to go over a few of your credentials, you studied at UTS and UNSW, majoring in graphic design, branding, user experience, and you are a Shopify and eBay expert, which is fantastic because we all have products in our clinics. Well, I don't actually have a clinic, but products in our clinics that do have expiry dates and that are sitting on shelves collecting dust. And it's with COVID-19, it's not an amazing time for the retail industry as far as social distancing goes. So I love that you keep on trend with consumer behavior changes, cutting edge industry knowledge and technology. And of course, you keep on top of everything through your client relationships, industry updates, professional network, business advisors, and attending regular industry conferences and events. And at the moment, there are no events happening. So it's even harder than ever to network with other people. So thank you so much for joining us today and doing this webinar. And I'd love to now hand the screen over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Nicole. I think that was just a really nice intro. And yeah, it is an interesting time when it comes to connectivity. This year, I actually applied to be a speaker at the annual Shopify Unite conference in Canada. So I was kind of nervously waiting to see if I was going to be successful or not with my application. And just middle of February, I got a notification saying, sorry, Chana, we're cancelling the conference. You know, to do with COVID-19, we have to put safety first. And that was just kind of the influx of change when it came to all the rules and regulations in regards to kind of self-isolating and social distancing. So it has meant that we have to do business differently. And definitely I've just been enjoying using all the online tools such as webinars. We've got Zoom, we've got Slack for community building as well. So I'll start to get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen.
I'll stop mine so that it's just yours.
Oh, fantastic. Are you right for me to load?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so can you see that?
Sorry, I was muted. Yes, you can. Yes, I can see.
Yeah, so I thought I would talk about the strategies of how to sell online. It will have a focus on Shopify, but there's a lot of kind of foundations and best practices that people need to have in place and to think about before they implement the technology. So for those that don't know what Shopify is an e-commerce website platform. There's other website platforms out there that you may have heard of, like WordPress, WooCommerce, Squarespace, BigCommerce, Magento, and Salesforce. They've all got their benefits, and what I'll talk about is Shopify because it's one of my favorites due to the usability. And I think for the people that are listening today, as well as a lot of businesses who have been impacted, they have to start thinking strategically about how they can start selling online. So I think Shopify is a really great introduction and will enable them to grow with the business online. So, all right, so let's drive my slides. Give me a second. Oops, that's not working. Okay, so just before I get started, I'll just give you a little bit more of an overview about myself. So I like to call myself an e-commerce nomad. So what that means is that my clients are everywhere across Australia. So I've been on the premises of farms where, you know, I've met the cotton farmer who actually manufactures his own clothing label. I've been to Canada to be a part of the Shopify conferences and community. I've hosted panel events in breweries. And I'm also a strong member of my local business network called Shire Women. So if anyone's located in Sutherland Shire, let me know and you're welcome to come to our next meetup or even online if we have to. end of last year, I co-founded a community called the Shopify Women's Network. So it's a network for women who sell on Shopify, as well as women who work with businesses who sell on Shopify. So they could be technology providers like myself, they could be strategists, advisors, they could be integration specialists such as, you know, PayPal and other kind of money services. So yeah, if anyone's interested, find us on LinkedIn or let me know and I'll add you to the Slack group as well. We're currently at 260 members, so it's pretty exciting. And a bit like yourself, Nicole, we're looking at, you know, building programs and things that are going to be relevant for the community to help them, as well as connect them with other members. Okay, so I've broken my presentation down into 6 key points. I think it's good to kind of have an overview of these. So what I'll start with is the opportunity ahead and then look at why Shopify. Okay, so COVID-19, it's a really awkward time at the moment for everyone. It's a time that's like immensely disrupting everything we've always known, from our social lives, our work habits, to even just how we shop and we perform our businesses. There's no way to say that anyone is not affected, and there is no normal. So most businesses, including all the practitioners and specialists listening now, you may have actually had to close your practices because your services are non-essential. And for those businesses that are still open, you probably have seen a lot of cancellations or had to modify your services. What's pretty exciting is the opportunity is because there's only 10% of retailers in Australia who actually sell online. So it's a very small proportion of people who are utilising the technology to connect with their customers and, you know, provide services right now when we need them. So this gives an opportunity to everyone to kind of consider how they can actually offer their range online. So yeah, consumers themselves are actually shopping differently. So we're seeing trends with consumers not purchasing their normal luxury or fashion goods. There's a bit more of a focus on being entertained, as well as spending on themselves to make them feel good, as well as, you know, essentials for their to making their home more comfortable. So you'll see people, you know, painting walls, you know, buying furniture, home appliances. But also I think personal care is a really good category to speak about, because, you know, everything we've known as being normal has been taken away from us. So to be able to get up in the morning, you know, go through a beauty regime and make yourself feel good, it's pretty essential right now. So, you know, it's really quite important that, you know, that the people listening right now, that you concentrate on this, is just how you can offer something additional to your physical practice through products and subscription base. Okay, so there's a big opportunity at the moment. So, you know, for the businesses that have closed down, you know, it's challenging because you haven't been able to pay your normal staff, but start thinking a little bit creatively, like how can you use your staff to actually, you know, just clean up all the business operations, get some good processes in place and start looking at your marketing. Every single business has a good opportunity to improve their existing website. And for those that don't have a website or don't sell with e-commerce, it's a perfect opportunity to start. And it's a creative time for you to consider how you can sell in just different ways. So if you're a service-based business, like I encourage you to start thinking about, you know, what kind of companion products do you have in your salon, your surgery, your clinic, and start thinking about how can you provide those to your customers. Some businesses are getting quite creative, selling on Instagram and Facebook through video recordings, as others have their website and their marketing campaigns to start driving some sales. Also, don't underestimate the relationship you have with your suppliers. Your suppliers, they know the industry very well. And although they might supply just a very limited range to you, there could be some other products that are highly relevant to your consumers. So start considering, you know, what can you upsell and resell, or sorry, cross-sell that's actually going to benefit them in addition to your normal products. So the last point's pretty interesting. So, you know, some businesses actually have, they can start utilizing subscriptions. So subscriptions are things that customers need on a frequent basis. So, you know, toothpaste, razors, you know, hygiene products. You could also look at, you know, offering a VIP service. So your normal clients that come into the clinic, you might offer them a specialized service because they come and see you quite frequently. So start thinking about how, you know, your product offering could also do that as well. So just a quick overview of why you should be online. It's a very good opportunity to profile your business, to sell both products and services. For those who have clinics, it's a good way for you to kind of book your appointments, schedule them straight in and take payments. It's a good opportunity for you to stay relevant and just to continue the conversation with your customers. So businesses that continue to grow through the GFC continually marketed their business. So it's a really good opportunity for you just to talk about what you're doing and stay relevant. And like what we're doing today, like webinars and other technology can enable you to host virtual consultations or how-tos. Okay, so why Shopify? I guess, this is the reason why we're all here. So Shopify is an e-commerce platform. It's traditionally used to sell products online, but with the right strategy and integrations, you can actually sell from your physical from your physical brick and mortar store, your clinic. You can sell across marketplaces like eBay and Amazon. You can also sell across social media, Facebook, Instagram, as well as kind of run a pop-up or, you know, ad hoc event. So the next time if you want to host, go to a marketplace or go into a Westfields just to kind of trial a few of your ranges, you can actually take a point of sale system there to facilitate that for you. And also right now, there might be a need for you to actually do some at-home visits with your products. So the point of sale software can be installed on your phone, and with, you know, access to a card reader, you'll be able to transact at your client's residence, taking payment and processing the order. So the point of sale is quite unique because it will manage all of your inventory in one place. So if you've got stock on your shelves and then you sell online, and then one of your sales reps sells on the road, when that product is actually sold, it will connect back to the inventory management system. This way you always know how many products you've got on hand, and you don't have to have that embarrassing conversation with anyone saying why you don't actually have it anymore. Okay, so Shopify celebrated last year a very big anniversary. So they've got over 1 million merchants online. So when I refer to merchants, we're talking about retailers, wholesalers, clinics, cafes, designers, and pretty much any business that actually transacts. We've also got membership-based organisations and professionals like myself. Okay, so it's a global brand. So we've got 175 plus countries now on board. It enables for multi-language and also multi-currency payments. Okay, so yeah, so I just mentioned this before. So the types of businesses that can be on Shopify are pretty much anyone that transacts. So clinics, you know, if you're a dentist, hairdresser, dermatologist, or other category, like there's definitely an opportunity for you to explore selling a range in addition to your services. Okay, so the reason I recommend Shopify is probably these key reasons that I've got on screen. So the main reason is just that it's really easy and quite intuitive to use. They've got a very good support network with their staff as well as their partner network. So the partner network refers to people like myself who are not hired by Shopify. We run our own independent businesses and we provide services that help merchants actually sell on Shopify. So my services to my clients include e-commerce strategy, Shopify web design and implementation services. I also provide education and support as the businesses grow. And when you look at strategy takes on so many different forms, from how to get online, how to sell globally, how to sell across marketplaces, and how to continually be better and provide a better user experience. So I might just see if there's anything else I should highlight there that I haven't. One very great thing about it is Shopify is self-hosted. So this eliminates the challenge of actually having to find a good website host. So all you have to do is just pay one monthly payment to Shopify and they do the rest. With that in mind, they through the hosting, they keep the website secure, it's reliable, it's fast, and it stores all your content, your images and your written content as well. Okay, so I spoke about the Shopify point of sale. So like I said, it just enables you to work remotely, visit your clients on their site or at their homes, as well as in store or marketplaces. So Shopify has the ability to integrate with different sales channels. So we've mentioned a few before, but if you wanted to sell across Instagram or Facebook, you have the ability to do so. There's also ways that you can integrate, Facebook chat, Messenger. So this way you can communicate with your customers in real time. There's really good statistics behind communicating through live chat, because what happens is when a customer's on your website, they've researched your product, they're 99% sure they want it, but there's some limitation that's actually stopping them from progressing. So this is where Messenger can be highly effective for you to actually convert that customer into a sale. So it's just as easy as answering a couple of quick questions for you to make them feel at ease. Quite commonly, they'll have questions about shipping or, payment options, just little things that just need a little bit of help. So I thought I'd just show you a couple of websites. So this example here, which you may have seen before, is Hi Smile. So they have a really unique subscription service. So I wanted to just kind of profile this because it just shows a different way of selling. So if you're in a practice or a clinic and you've got a very limited range, but you know that those products need to be purchased frequently, if you introduce a subscription service, you can do that now while people are at home, but also continue doing that once, business is back to usual. So start having a think about products that people need on a regular basis and put together a program that's going to, be relevant to their needs. So for example, this gel refills here. So they're selling that at $25.49 on a, I think it's a monthly plan. Monthly plan. Oh, I don't know. I'd have to double check that. So it's either monthly or for the quarter, they charge $25.49. But you have the ability to select the frequency that you want to receive that and how many refills you get. And so that's kind of, the payment goes out at the time, and it means the customer doesn't have to think about it. The customer doesn't run out, and you've got a continuous revenue stream coming through your online store. Okay, so Cora Organics is another really good example. So Cora Organics is a product line that's designed by Miranda Kerr. So there's some really interesting functionality in this Shopify store I wanted to show you. So on the homepage, you'll see that, they've got a rewards program as well as having like the live chat installed. The live chat enables for personalization and helps with any kind of customer queries. So in addition to that, if you scroll down their homepage, you'll see that, Miranda Kerr is talking about her tips and tricks. I think this is a very personal way for a specialist to actually talk about, what their offering is and why they're unique. Because when you're buying online, it's really hard to do because there's so many options, and quite often you can be confused if it's relevant for you. If you've got a particular skin type or challenge that you're trying to actually solve through the beauty care you're purchasing, it's always easier if you've got somebody else that's kind of spoken about it as well as given it a review. So I'll be talking a little bit about review apps. So I've given an example just here. It says it's an exquisite item. And it says, I've developed hyperpigmentation during my pregnancy and I've started using this to help clear and refine my skin. My complexion is so much better and thank you for it. My skin is radiant and toned. And so this woman here is describing her experience and the challenge she had with her pregnancy and her skin. So, you know, for any other woman who is shopping for that product that may be in a similar situation, this review is highly relevant to help them understand if the product is a suitable fit. So reviews are a great way to instill trust with your customers, but they also help you with your Google SEO ranking. So the way Google works is that if reviews have come from a validated source, they're actually going to rank your website higher than a website that hasn't provided those services. So a combination of good reviews as well as, you know, good content will help you rank much higher than your competitors. So, all right, that's a lot of information, I know. So how do you get started? Okay, so I want you to go away and start thinking to yourself, what makes my practice, my clinic, my surgery unique? And once you've had to think about that, think about the type of clients that you normally serve. Don't try thinking too much ahead about other people you can help at this stage. Just think about your key clients. Who are those people that come in regularly, and what kind of services and products do you usually utilize to help them with their problems? So I'd highly recommend that that product range that you've selected is the first product range you actually get on your online store. And then start thinking, you know, how regular do my customers or clients actually need these products? And that will kind of help you decide whether or not a subscription service can be relevant. And like I mentioned before, talk to your suppliers. There may be some companion products that will go in addition to your normal product range, as well as your services moving forward. So probably one of the hardest things that will be, well, not hard, just time-consuming things you'll end up doing for your website is preparing your content. So I recommend having a think about this before getting your teeth too deep into Shopify. So an About Us page is probably one of the most valuable pages on your website. So it is your opportunity to communicate who you are, what your story is, and why people should go and see you. You know, personal beauty and personal care. If you're dealing with, you know, an injury or surgery, the process is very personal. So, you know, this About Us page is an opportunity for people to actually get to feel trusted based on, you know, your profile and connect with you as an individual. If you have a video where you've presented or any other visual touch point, include that in your written words as well. Now, legal policies, these are things that I see that people miss out on all the time. So this includes your privacy policy, your shipping policy, and just your terms and conditions. So these things will help will obviously keep everything legal, but will stop confusion with your customers and will make a much better customer experience. So blog posts, I recommend that when you launch, have a minimum of 2 to 4 posts. So these are to do with your industry. They can be to do about your business. They can be information about your products. Now, value proposition. You may or may not have heard this. So this pretty much is just the concept behind what makes your business unique, what makes your clinic unique to the one that's, you know, down the road. To really spell out that visually and with some words as well. So photography, this refers to both, you know, product photography as well as, shots of your team and also your clinic. So if you talk to your suppliers, they might have a really good database of product photos for you to use. And business logo. So most businesses should already have a logo. If you don't, I recommend speaking to, you know, a professional graphic designer to get something personalized for your brand. Okay, so the next step is product preparation. So to be able to sell online, there's a few core things that you need to have written for your products. So your product titles, so keywords, they should be descriptive of what it is, like explain exactly what that product is. You know, if it's a serum, explain that. If it has aloe vera, put that in the title as well. And description goes into more detail. So it says if there's specific specifications or that your product is utilized for a particular ailment or regime, include that in the description as well. Quantity and weight will help you with your inventory management as well as your shipping, and variations will just say whether or not you've got size differences or smells or anything else that's slightly different to what the other products are. Okay, so shipping, this is always the fun part. So like, do you charge a set price or do you charge a price per weight per order? So I recommend starting with a flat rate. So if you look at Australia Post and Sendle, they have some really competitive rates. They're broken down to about, I think, 3 to 6 different price points. And I think that's a really good starting point. I think just be transparent with that. Just say, set shipping $12, and then this way the customers know upfront how much they're paying, there's no confusion, and then they're ready to transact. Other options you could consider is home delivery, curbside pickup, and even click and collect through, popular supermarkets such as Woolworths or Coles. Okay, so Shopify setup. Sorry, I just keep checking the time. So Shopify have at the moment extended their free trial period. So once you're ready to get started, register with Shopify and you've got 90 free days to actually have a play around with Shopify. So next step is to trial a theme. Themes can be customized with your brand colors, your fonts and images. Upload your products and content, configure apps, add your domain, test and launch. So I'll just talk about integrations very briefly. So integrations, others might know them as plugins or applications. These are functional elements that you have to add to your Shopify store. So reviews and live chat, they help with trust and customer service. Payment options, Shopify is built in as well as PayPal, but then you also have the ability to sell with Afterpay. Definitely integrate with your email marketing system. For example, you could use MailChimp or Klaviyo and .digital. You can also look at how you can upsell, cross-sell, what type of subscriptions, and if you're a retailer or a clinic but have the potential to distribute, you might also want to look at wholesale. Okay, so Shopify has this really great library of themes that are available for you to try. So some of those themes there are free, others are paid. I highly recommend that you pay for a premium theme. So the theme I've got here, it's called Prestige. It costs $180 USD. And I think today's conversion rate, that's about 260, 270 Australian dollars. So I recommend starting with a premium theme because they have a lot more additional functionality and customizations that you can utilize. If you start off with a free theme, you might find you're a bit limited and you'll outgrow that solution very quickly. And quite often what happens is people that start on the free end up paying developers to build things into that theme when they could have just had it out of the box on a premium theme. Through the Shopify theme store, you have the ability to actually trial the theme. So until you actually publish your website, you can customize that to you until you're happy. And once you're ready, you can actually launch your website. So launch day. So you've got all your products up there, you've customized your theme, you've got some good content, you've got your policies and your about page. The next step is to communicate and tell people, hey, I've got a website. So like having a physical retail store or a premise where you practice, nobody knows you're there until you actually start marketing it. So, you've done the store fit out, you've done the paint, you've done your window dressing, you need to invite people to come. So this is kind of what I recommend that you start off with the launch phase. Step 1, email your existing clientele, have some excitement with it. Tell them, hey, check us out, we're online. We've also got this neat, subscription service. Why don't you come join it and trial it for the first month? One thing I noticed with a lot of businesses is they haven't registered with Google Maps. So one thing you can do today out of everything, go register your business on Google Maps. It will help people find you locally, as well as help with your SEO and your reviews later on. So the next step is register with directories and industry bodies. So register with organisations like Trusted Surgeons, Femeconomy, and other directory services just to profile what you do. And just share with your local network. So these could be people that you do business with, as well as people that you socially know, or your family. And advertising is just a bit of a everyone needs to advertise in some capacity, and, utilize the power of Facebook. It's relatively cheap to get set up. So I'll just fly by this very quickly. So these are resources and tools. So Shopify have some really good help documentation on the Help Center. This is free. Just type in what you're looking for. If you can't find it, they've got a really good team that will help you troubleshoot what you need. So Shopify blog, I recommend when you get started, subscribe to this, because there's so many interesting topics to do with trends and how-tos. So I spoke briefly before about the partner network. So globally, there's over 10,000 Shopify partners in the network. We all have a varying range of skills. So go register there and just check out different providers and what they can do from, marketing, store setup, visual branding and content writing. So stock photography. So if you're limited with the photos you have on hand, Shopify have something called Burst, which enables you to actually find some free stock photography to use. One of my other favorites is Unsplash. I like Unsplash because they're very, So they're photos taken just by normal people, professionals, and they're not studio. They're a bit more humble, and they're a great way to connect with your clients through your marketing. So this is just talking about best practices. So I won't go into too much detail here, but the main thing I would recommend is make sure your photos are high resolution, they've been cropped to size, and that that if you're going to take photos of your products, just make sure there's nothing in the background that you're not selling or that looks messy. And Shopify Basics, I'm just going to fly by here to give you a look at what Shopify looks like from the behind the scenes. So this is what you see when you have an account. So this is what we call the Shopify dashboard. It actually shows you a breakdown of different things that you need for your business. So, number one, orders. That's a very good thing to see. So you can get notified by email when an order comes through. You can also manually check your orders through the dashboard. Your products, you have the ability to modify those once they're all in your store. Manage your customers. This will give you the access to be able to communicate with them through your marketing, as well as just see how people are actually spending. After a while, you'll be able to create a profile for different customers based on the frequency they spend and what they're actually buying. Your reports and analytics are highly invaluable. These will help you make decisions later on down the track. And discounts I didn't actually speak about, but you can offer specialized discounts when it comes to shipping, discounts like 10%, buy one, get one free. So I'll just go to the next. Yeah, so this page just shows you, what it looks like if you're actually creating a new product. So you have full control here to modify your title, your description, upload your images, set variations, set your price, as well as put things on sale. You can track your inventory, enter your weight, and you can classify things by product type and collection. So collections. So collections are just a group of products. So you might classify skincare as one, hair care as another. It'll help you display things on your homepage, as well as help customers navigate your website. Okay. Yeah, pages. So pages refer to anything that provides information. So your About Us page, your shipping policies, privacy policy, just to name a few. Okay. Oh, and this here is just the dashboard, again, where it shows you your settings. So it gives you full control of your business. So you can register your business address, your ABN, you can set your time zone, you can add all your payment details, you can manage staff, you can manage your shipping. Okay, and lucky last slide. So 5 tips to help you succeed on Shopify. Number 1, get found. So, by building a Shopify store, we're profiling your business, we're making you look professional, and we're creating something of relevance for now and into the future. It's an opportunity for you to build your brand. and your reputation. So reviews, good content, easy to read information will help customers trust you. I talk about trust because there's still a lot of stigma around people actually going online and putting their credit card details in. So Shopify is highly secure and have their own payment methods, as well as allow customers to purchase through PayPal or Amex and their other favorite payment providers. And a very important thing to mention, Shopify is built for mobile. So we've got very high statistics of people actually, researching products on mobile, and some will purchase there, but a very large proportion will go onto their computers to actually finish the transaction. And it's just transparent. So, you know what your monthly fees are, and you know what your fees are for your integration. So there's no costly surprises. And that's it. I did it. 5 minutes over, but I think I'm pretty happy with that. So if you want to get in touch, please take down my email address. And also I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, so please connect with me, and you're more than welcome to join the Shopify Women's Network on LinkedIn as well. I hope that's helpful.
That was amazing. Thank you. And I've been racking my brain the whole time thinking of what can I sell? What product do I have? Because I now want a Shopify shop.
Oh, absolutely. So there's so many opportunities, but you can start looking at showcasing maybe a few of your clients and other businesses you work with. So yeah, and for me, I actually sell just my services through my website. So it's not a physical product. And I think that's one thing I forgot to mention is you don't have to sell physical products to use Shopify. So if you sell a service, or if you have resources like PDFs, you can actually sell those on Shopify as well.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic. I will definitely be in contact with you again, and I think we should possibly get some feedback, because we've had quite a few people coming on and off on the Facebook Live, and we'll get some feedback and hopefully do this again soon.
Fantastic. No, I'm looking forward to it. Was there any questions at all?
No, a lot of commentary back and forth, but I think, like I said, most people in the group would be novice. I don't think anyone actually has a Shopify shop, because we're all very hands-on clinicians. Yeah. So I think it's all a bit, my goodness.
Yeah. I think, my presentation was very thorough, because I want you to think about business from lots of different angles. So when I build a Shopify store, I think about how my customers or clients can actually build a future for themselves. So, building an online store is potentially building a new revenue source that you can actually sell that as a business later down the track. So start thinking what is going to happen in the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. So, right now, start trialing Shopify, have an experiment, trial a theme, and just get your first 5 products up there. And then kind of think, well, what's the next step I can take to actually grow this business and build an asset for my business?
Yeah. That's fantastic, because I think that absolutely at the end of this, you'll have another nice income stream that's complementary to your business that you won't want to stop.
Absolutely. I think it's a good thing for people to realise is consumers are changing. So consumers aren't going to be the same as what they were pre-COVID. They're going to get used to shopping online. They're going to get used to communicating virtually. So I think you need to have a website as soon as possible. So, to be able to facilitate that ongoing relationship with your customers, they're demanding it.
What happens if you have an existing WordPress website? Mm-hmm. I'm just using WordPress because it's very common. But you want to have a Shopify. Does that mean you have to have 2 websites?
Well, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. So probably the quickest way to get started with that is you can set up Shopify, upload your products. When I say set up, it's just more your settings. Don't worry about your theme and all those, visual things. And what you can actually do is install a buy button onto your WordPress pages. So, you can, if you've got a blog article or something, you can have the buy button, and that buy button will allow customers to buy that skincare product from that blog post, and then the transaction goes through Shopify. So as far as the customer knows, they think they're just on the WordPress site. And then moving forward, there's other ways that you can actually integrate the 2 websites together to facilitate, a shopping environment.
Is it easier to set up a shop in WordPress or easier to set up a shop in Shopify? Sorry, I always do that and combine the two. Which is the easier?
Many people call it Spotify, so you're allowed one kind of bad go. So WordPress is a great business. It's a great website builder as well. What I'm finding is quite common is that businesses get too preoccupied with their business, and they don't have the time, the team, or the facility to actually maintain their WordPress website. So what's happening is you see plugins, applications, and WordPress getting outdated. And the risk with this is security. So if you do not maintain these things on your site, it can potentially bring in spam and other hazards when it comes to credit fraud. Your website can crash, as well as it can slow down its site speed as well. So it's different. I think when you're transacting, you have to think about business very differently, because you as a business owner are responsible for taking money from your clients. So you can't put them at risk. So unless you've got a dedicated technician, like an IT specialist or designer or developer who can manage your WordPress site, I'd probably recommend trialing Shopify instead, because they look after that part for you.
That's fantastic advice. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop streaming to Facebook now. I'm just looking on my phone to make sure I haven't missed any questions, and say goodbye. So I'm going to stop streaming, but I'll still be on here. But for Facebook purposes, thank you again. And if anyone wants to comment or DM or obviously contact you, I'm sure they will.
Thank you. Bye.
There we are. That's now not streaming.